Hey everybody, this is Charlie Musselwhite, and you're listening to Athena After Dark. I ain't lying. Thank you, baby.
Hey, you're back. I got you, buddy.
Oh my God, I can't breathe. Hey everybody, that was the great Charlie Musselwhite. Oh, what an intro. I so adore that, man. God. Sorry. It's been quite an adventure the last hour. It's just been too much fun. Don kept Xing me out instead of pushing go on my screen. So I'm here. I'm back. Oh my goodness. I hope you all had a great week. Can I say we sure did? It's so wonderful to be here with all of you. We have another great show tonight. So let's kickstart this baby and get it rolling. Oh my goodness. Okay. So speaking of my wonderful but I'm gonna change my my
Whatever you do.
that thing to the next one.
Okay. Start talking about it first.
So speaking of my wonderful friend Charlie Musselwhite, he has a small part in the new Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon. It's about the Osage tribe in Oklahoma. It was released at the Cannes Film Festival in March, and it is in theaters October 20th. He was my dad in Rough Boys, the movie. Sorry, I'm crying, laughing so hard. He is an amazing man, a great person, and he's going to be on our he is on our guest list for this winter. So as soon as he gets a press junket, we'll have him here. But right now, we're going to give you a little tease of the movie. Okay, ready, set.
Scared of him?
First, I have many friends. I'm gonna tell you who did it.
There he is.
Killers of the Flower Moon. Rated R. Only in theaters October.
Okay, so if you can see, put that back up for a second, babe. So you see the big glasses and the hair on that picture. I do believe that's Mr. Scorsese, and he was filming it with his phone and sending it to Charlie. So Charlie sent it to me. I love it. I'm just so lucky. Don's cracked me up here. My makeup's probably all a mess now. We're doing our best to get our guest tonight in. For some reason, our streaming platform isn't allowing our guest link to work, but Don's working on it. So we're going to continue on with the show. Okay, so next we're going to go to celebrating our community. This is an important thing for me. So this is brought to you by Techno Research. And the Boys and Girls Club of America is a vital part of our history and our future. And everybody knows there's a lot of celebrities and a lot of athletes and just scholars, wonderful human beings who had the opportunity to have a safe place to go. The incredible programs that help them be better people in the world. Well, the Boys and Girls Club of America is providing great futures for our youth. Of course, like I said, with incredible programs and safe places, the opportunities that support those great futures. So please support them. The address to support is on the screen right there. Oh my goodness, I have to get it together. Oh, I'm just leaking from my eyes because I was laughing so hard. Okay, and a shout out to Port St. Lucie, where my grandson lives, my daughter lives. January 13th, they are having the Lexus Great Futures Glitz and Glam Gala. So it's at the Mid-Florida Event Center. They have cocktails and dinner, live music, and dancing. So maybe we'll see you there. Okay, anybody wants to get tickets, it's also on that website. You can find it there. Just type in Port St. Lucie for Find a Club. All right. So, and as we've been talking about, This is so good because Dom's doing a good job. He's texting over there, our guest, and he's doing all that stuff back there. He applied for a new position tonight just to share with everybody. Probably shouldn't share so much, but so Don has been craft services. He used to cook all the time while Thing One was doing production. Thing One, I took him to Daytona and he got absconded. His mom still won't talk to me. He's out there with, I think, a blonde, a brunette, and a redhead. And we're hoping he comes back soon because we're starting to worry about him. And then Don took over the production. Tonight, he decided he wanted to apply for the wardrobe job. So we gave him a shot. I have my pajamas on. I can't stop laughing. Oh. So anyways.
You're so smiling.
He's extremely talented. He's multifaceted. Okay. So like I told everybody, the Biketoberfest is coming, right? I've been talking about it. I have been talking about it and telling you about the reason we go to Daytona, which is the Willie's Tropical Tattoo Chopper Time show. I told you, it's multifaceted. He's texting and he's doing it. So like, I'll get him to put up that picture, right? He can put up the other one too for a second. And so Willie's Chopper Time, Thursday, October 19th, and it's from 11 to 4. You have to be there. Roadside Marty is the actual, he roasts every winner of every class. Willie puts on a great event with an awesome crew, and all the money goes to support the Veterans Hero Fund. He has a local veterans charity near him, and all the monies go to them. They get new big screen TVs. They go out to lunch, anything they need, it's taken care of. And then one of the coolest places we get to stay there this year for Biketoberfest, Miss Maggie's South Country Inn. Okay, it is the coolest bed and breakfast in Daytona. So we're going to show you a couple pictures. The front one, that's the courtyard. And I believe it says down there, Shovelhead Ave. In that little round wooden tub, that's a sauna. How cool is that? Okay, and that's the courtyard, the other side of the courtyard. This place is amazing. Okay, and that's one of the rooms. Look at that. It's so awesome. And there you go, another room with a fireplace. It does get cold enough. There's a cold front up there. The kitchen, that's where she feeds everybody. So, again, book now for rallies. And anytime you take your family for vacation, even off season, you're going to a NASCAR race, anything like that, you have to go to Miss Maggie's South Country Inn. It is the place to be. Like Willie's. That's why we go to Daytona. All right. So how this is working out is Don is doing his best to get our guest in here. I don't know if it's working out. How are we doing with that, babe? It's not working?
It's looking a little peaked.
Looking a little peaked. I'm not touching that. I swear to it's always an adventure is what I say. Always an adventure. And you have to smile big and bright and just get through it because you gotta have fun, right? Things happen, shit happens. We do what we can do. We're gonna get a sponsor here because he's been up my ass about getting a title sponsor. We actually had one, but because of someone they were dealing with, we chose not to go that route because we want to be, on the positive and good side of things. So we're gonna get a few sponsors, a title sponsor, and a few other ones because we obviously need a better streaming platform, which that's what the sponsorship money will go for. So we can get our guests in, we can get on. We don't have to think that we're doing a show and just have a giant black screen. We've been there before. Poor Catmandu. I'm going to make sure she gets a repeat. She just moved to Daytona. So exciting. She's there. She moved in with Miss Maggie, not at the bed and breakfast. They got an awesome house. So she's in the Mecca. She's living the dream. She's a retired teacher after decades of teaching art class to second, third, and fourth graders. I think some teenagers too. She's inspired a lot of people. So we'll have her back on here. We have some good upcoming guests next week. Let's see. Next week we have from Women Right. Why are you laughing at me? Are you laughing at me? You're like, just keep going, babe. Are you laughing at the fact that the link just doesn't want to work?
It just doesn't want to work.
What is it? They say the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. Everybody always says just the best laid plans. Anyways, next week, God willingly, if our links work, thank you very much. We're going to have Miss Trisha Miss Tricia Slawinski from Women Writers Now. That's going to be exciting. You talk about an empowering and inspiring woman who reached out and grabbed the baton from Miss Genevieve Smith, who was the founder of Women Writers Now, and incredible women. One of these days, maybe we'll get lucky and get her on the show. So that's next Monday night. Again, as long as all the links work. And then the following week, October 30th, because I'm giving you guys a heads up for Halloween, the day before, we are going to have the incredible, should I tell them? It's supposed to be, I like to keep everybody waiting. That's why I put the announcements out on Saturday. What?
Let them wait.
Let them wait? Well, you can see it on the actual website calendar. It's not like it's a total secret, but if you're watching now and you haven't clicked on our calendar, you should probably go. You're going to enjoy it. So I see the link is still up in my window, babe. Does that mean that I still don't have a guest?
That means you still don't have a guest.
How about any viewers? Anybody out there want to just go ahead and give me a topic, some random shit to talk about for a minute? I was late, but like, I don't know, 8 minutes. So you might have all given up on me. Everybody except Dawn. Dawn's not a quitter.
Quitters never win, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we keep changing the link, and it's not working. So this is on the streaming platform, and I don't want to diss anybody or tell anybody that, you know, their shit don't work really well, but we are yet to find a good one that is affordable. So we're going to have to step it up. Okay. Should figure out something else. Oh, did you guys see the I showed you the link last week of the Rosie, the Uncommon Vice cells, Sarah. She makes them by hand. That thing is the shit.
How do you know?
Because I rode around all week on my motorcycle. It was dry, no rain. Rain's gonna start again. Oh my goodness. It was so awesome. I put it on. I didn't even have to brush my hair after. I just took it off, and no knots, no nothing. I mean, my hair's a mess today, but that's his fault, and we're just not even going there. What the hell are you doing over there? Today is my 4th day without a cigarette too, just so you can say, 4 days. I told my grandson yesterday. I said, he goes, Mimi. I said 3 days. He said 3 days. I said, yeah, 3 days, no cigarettes. He says, you should never smoke another cigarette. And I told him I wouldn't. So 4 days. How you doing over there, Ben? You okay?
Good. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing. So yeah, I was talking about the Rosie. That thing is the shit. I rode around all week. And for all of my friends out there who call me a sissy when I come to visit you, I will be freezing my tail off this week because it's going to be in the 70s. Yes, I said the 70s. And then I'm going to go somewhere, hopefully, next weekend before Biketoberfest. And I believe it's going to be in like the 60s there. So I'll really be freezing. I need a new snowmobile suit. What's that?
Your hair will be warm.
My hair will be warm? My hair's messed good looking and he's kind. And I keep doing my best to get him to come with me on some of these trips that I go to. And he's conscientious about his career, which is super cool. And I'm proud of him and happy for that. So, again, I don't know if you can see me. Maybe you can hear me. It's okay. I'm a mess today anyways. How you doing over there, babe? Go ahead. You can say it. Just say it. I keep doing my best to get him to come. I hear me.
You just came back.
I just came back. I was gone. Now I'm back. Well, Dawn is ready to join my broadcast. Are you going to join me, babe? I dare you to join me from over. Are you there? Look at you. Hi. You know.
Hey there.
Hey.
So I'm just trying out this link, and it sure seems to work for me. I don't know why it don't work.
Marge thought it was her.
Holy shit. Okay. Bye now.
Where you going? Okay. Well, hi, Dawn. Did you miss all of it, Miss Marge? Should I start over? I'm just kidding. Okay, so I hear me in the back because I hear you, because I have you. You're so hot. Okay. Well, let's see. Where should I start?
It was a dark and stormy night.
You guys want to watch the movie trailer again? Oh, it was my third day of not smoking. Yes. Today is my fourth day of not smoking. 4, 4, 4, 4. You can already see it in my skin. It's starting to break out everywhere from all the toxins coming out of my body. Okay. So past that, it was my third day of not smoking. Well, Dawn's working on getting the guest here, which is an exciting thing. Biketoberfest is coming. I plan on riding. I might need a snowmobile suit because it's going to be in the low 70s, maybe high 60s. So we know how that feels. That's cool. Us Floridians know how that feels. For South Florida, we are like used to 90 degrees all the time. Although everyone here is mostly in the air conditioning. I freeze 74 degrees in the house and I'm like, oh my God. But everybody else is comfortable. That's what matters. Okay, yeah. I'm just being an absolute gab. I hope you guys watched the movie trailer. I hope you like that. Killers of the Flower Moon. So let's talk about that. The Osage tribe, they were moved to a reservation, and they were one of the smartest Indian tribes ever, because when the government moved them to a reservation, they made the government sign saying that they had the rights to all of the property, including the mineral rights. So what happened was they found oil. And they got so much money. They were saying the average wealthy person in America had one car, and most of the Osage members had in upwards of 11 cars. However, the government, because there was so much money from the wealth of the oil, the government decided that these Native American Indians had to have a guardian to watch how they spent their money. So greed took over. A lot of bad things happened. People would marry in, like white people would marry into the tribe to be part of the family, and then murders were happening and killings were happening and poisonings. It was shot in the head, like suicide, and so many things. And it turned out that there was a man that was killing people to get to their riches. And this movie is incredible. It's Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio, Lily Blackfoot, Kenny Pratt. I believe he was on Breaking Bad. Charlie Musselwhite. There's a whole cast. If you Google it, Killers of the Flower Moon. And then I watched an interview with the actual author. It was fantastic. All of the research that this man did to come to find out that, the FBI, this is kind of where the FBI started to. They took on this case and gained credibility as a federal bureau of investigation, which I have no comment on one way or the other. It's just part of the story. But the story is about wealth, love, betrayal, So many things, and it's really cool. And then Charlie Musselwhite, who is my dad in the movie Rough Boys, has a small part in it. Now, I don't know how many of you know about Charlie Musselwhite, but he is an icon in the blues music, okay? He's played with so many people, but he said sometime around December when he gets a break, he is going to be a guest on our show, and he did the intro for our show. But the story behind how he ended up on this movie and then the connection that he has to this movie is really incredible. So we'll have him on, but you guys got to go to the theaters and see it because it looks like a really, really good one. Dan Aykroyd's character in Blues Brothers, that's Charlie Musselwhite. Like, he carries the case, and they kind of made that character after him, which is super cool. And that's in his bio too. We saw him and Mavis Staple play at the Jackie Gleason Theater in Miami. What a show. Absolutely incredible. I've seen him play with Benny Turner the first time they ever played together. That was so cool. I'm bummed out. I missed Willie's show. Was here last week. Willie Nelson. I had no idea. I've been busy working, and I did not get a chance to look at any of the local schedules. So that was a bummer, a big bummer, because that's on my list. I saw him in Deadwood. Oh my goodness, what one of the best concerts ever. So, okay. And anybody out there, just saying, if you have season tickets to the Dolphins game and you're not going on Christmas Eve, please message me or send me an email. I am doing my best, since Don's not in the room and he can't hear me, to go ahead and get tickets for him and Baron to go Christmas Eve while Santa wraps all the presents and stuff like that, to go see the Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. That's just a thing. It's a thing. So if you're not using season tickets, maybe you need some. What I'm talking about. However, we never thought we'd live this long. Oh, all the shit we put ourselves and our bodies and our motorcycles through, that's for damn sure. Okay. But yeah, hey, we met at the Milwaukee 105th anniversary. Myself and a group of phenomenal women called the Chopper Chick Crew. We did a live build in Milwaukee, and the Chopper Chick Crew is Kate O'Shea, Gina Lewis, Gypsy Charos, Joanne Bortles, Kate, what's her last name? She got married now, so I don't want to say it the wrong way. Sarah Lyons. Oh, there's a list. And if you Google Chopper Chick Crew, you'll see them all, because there's quite a few. We had a few add-ons that we had some, also, they weren't members, but they would come in, like Shorty. She would come to our builds and stuff like that and help out. So she was an honorary member. We had a few of those, Chopper Chick Crew. So I met JB at the 105th, and we were doing a Bike for the Race Foundation, and that's RAACE.org, race.org. And that's to prevent child sexual abuse, which is something that's close to my heart. Someday we might talk about that, not right now. And so he was an incredible force to a lot of things that we had going on. I was in Maryland, which is where he's from, and I got an opportunity to go and hang out with him. And it's so funny because we did a ride, and we were doing a mayor's ride. And everybody knows we get to do mayor's rides. Sometimes you're the grand marshal, or you get to do a mayor's ride. And I was doing the mayor's ride with Russell Mitchell from Exile Cycle, which we love Russell and his whole crew and his family. They are part of our family. Hi, Russell. I love you. So we led the parade of 100, 200 motorcycles, and we were going to a Boys and Girls Club in Maryland. So everybody was socializing and whatnot, and I wandered inside, and I saw one of the little kids, and I said, "Hey, what you got going on here?" And he said, "Can I show you around?" He was probably like 10. I said I'd be honored. Next thing you know, I had a whole group of little kids all around me. And apparently while that was happening, they were giving me the tour, and we ended up downstairs in the basement, and we were shooting pool. And the mayor and the photographer for the newspaper, they were looking for me, and they were not happy with me at all, because I guess I was supposed to stay around and do a picture for the front page. You know how that happens. So I actually ended up doing a tour with the kids and making new friends and having a whole day of fun. And when when they were looking for me, JB said, the photographer said, "Where is she? We can't find her." He goes, "I know right where she is. All you got to do is go find the kids." And sure enough, I was downstairs shooting pool with the kids, and that's where you can find me. Kids, pets, and old people. That's my jam. I mean, I love my motorcycles. I love my family. But if somebody said, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life if money didn't matter outside of motorcycles?" I would say I would have, I don't know, probably 50 foster kids, a whole farm full of adopted pets, and I'd go to the senior center at least once a week. How you doing there?
Oh, hi, babe.
Hi, babe. How's that working out for you? Do you still see me on your screen over there?
You're back.
I'm back. Everybody's probably bored to death of my ramblings on. Are we doing our best to get the guest in?
We are.
I was telling him how wonderful JB is, because he's really a wonderful, wonderful person. And, you know, if you guys have segment ideas that you'd like me to do, like we do Celebrate Your Community, we do 5 Good Things, we do weird stuff, weird and cool stuff. We do all kinds of stuff. So if you have something that you would like to go ahead and send me, email me, and have some ideas, I'll go ahead and make it a little segment. We like to change it up, but I'm doing my best to keep it to a few small segments. I don't know why I should do them all, so they have more time with the guest, because the whole goal is about the guest, actually. Home of the 5 Good Things. We do our best to have 5 good segments and give you information, show you positive stuff, and let you get to know our guest. Like, okay, with our guest tonight, most anybody who knows about JB Bratcher knows that he is one of the most incredible salespeople for Harley Davidson. He makes people's dreams come true, and he's no bullshit. He's not the used car salesman type of get you in, grab the dollar, and send you on the road no matter what happens. He cares. He has a vast, vast history in the motorcycle world, in the community where he lives, and motorcycling in general, kind of like our other guests, like Barry Wardlaw and Tony Pan. I mean, he's been forever. JB is awesome. Thank you, Bert, for saying that. Bert Mooney the third. That is so cool. Don is on the phone with him now. We're trying to make the link work, and I'm really bummed out, and I apologize to everybody about the fact that this shit is just a little sketchy sometimes. But again, we're going to get some good sponsors, and we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to build a couple of these motorcycles now that we have Fab Room. I said that. If you saw the Facebook post, I have Paco frame, gas tank, fender, oil tank. I got a really nice Paco Springer front end that's going on there, because we do love Paco. Back in the day, you could get Paco, Pat Kennedy, Gary Bang. Those were the parts we used, aftermarket parts. Anything else, we had to cut up and make our own stuff if they didn't have it, which is mostly what we did. And then, you know, Drag Specialties came out, Parts Unlimited, and they had, their catalog was like that big, and it's like that big now. And you have the fat book and the old book. Custom Chrome had just started out. It's pretty crazy how things have changed so much. Don's not allowed to quote jobs here in the shop. When we're working, he's still stuck in 1990. You tell somebody, "Oh, that gasket's like $2 and it cost me 10, and I quoted him 2, and it's like, "Yep, nope, you're not allowed to quote jobs anymore." But anyways, Paco's really good parts. If anybody knows who Johnny Pag is, I have an idea in my brain that would make Johnny Pag happy, make him proud. So I'm got a couple good builds coming up. If you guys are interested in seeing what we're doing, we're going to have a bike at Daytona for Bike Week. We are also going to have a bike at the BC Moto Show at the Tennessee Motorcycle and Music Revival, which is on Loretta Lynn's ranch. Bill Dodge invited me. I will be the first woman builder there. Probably not the only one, but definitely the first. I love Bill. There's so many guys that I'm lucky enough to have earned their respect in this industry, to have them have me at their incredible shows. It means a lot to me. Very much so. And Don's still out there talking, and I'm so glad that you guys are doing that. Boys and Girls Club. We were talking about it again. So I left my cards out there because we couldn't get the link to work. But there's incredible people that were members of the Boys and Girls Club. Denzel Washington, Brad Pitt, LeBron James. Let's see. There's a whole list of them. There, Neil Diamond, he was a member of the Boys and Girls Club. So it gives them a safe space. It gives them opportunities to learn things. You can have mentors. There's so much going on. Athletes, just incredible people. And so if you get a chance, please go to BGCA. Hey, JB is ready to join our broadcast. I'm so excited. Honey, love. I don't know if you guys got the beginning of it, but I was cracking up laughing because he couldn't push the button, couldn't bring me in. It's been quite a clusterfuck, if you don't mind my saying. Babe,
You're
JB is ready to join our broadcast.
Yes, he's in.
Okay. I'm excited. I see him.
Are we bringing him in, or we gonna
Let's-
go ahead and get to know him?
I can't hear him on mine. Say something, sir.
Hello?
I hear him.
Testing 1, 2, testing.
You have him on the phone, but I don't have him here.
Check online.
Okay, you're live.
I see his face. This is good. Like, I hear him. I hear something. I can hear you now. How exciting.
In.
Okay, so I'm going to show pictures and we're going to bring him in. Okay, I'm going to leave him waiting now. As long as we've had to leave him hanging, what's another minute or two, right? Okay, so we're going to the pictures. Let's do the pictures. I love this part. Okay, yay, we're successful. Okay, everybody, that is JB and Gina Lewis from the Chopper Chick crew. She drove our trailer, truck and trailer. She drives for a company and does cornhole tournaments.
For ESPN.
A large for ESPN, yes. Joe Buckner, hi, I'm glad you're here. JB is great. Okay, next picture. You're so good to me, babe. All right, there's JB with Chicks on 66, friends of mine, Kathy and Miss Marilyn. They stopped in to see him. They sent me this picture. They texted to me. There he is. Look at that big old smile. He was having fun in Sturgis. It looks like Sturgis. I'm going to say that Sturgis. We'll ask him that. Okay, there he is, his lovely girl. That's him and Miss Sandy. The next picture. There you go. Look at that. Gorgeous. So he's got a hat and a beard going. All right. Look at that's back in the day. Oh, yep. Is that a panhead? That is a panhead. Look at that cowboy hat. You can't tell what it is. There you go. This man has definitely been riding for a long time. He's incredible. And I love this shirt. So he's got his cowboy hat and it says, I've always been crazy and it's kept me from going insane. I'm a Waylon Jennings fan too. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Okay. There he is outside the dealership. Hey, here I am. I'm ready to make your dreams come true. I love it because that's what he does, honestly, for a living. He makes people's dreams come true. All right. So then we got a couple more pictures. This picture I was telling you guys about when we went to the Boys and Girls Club in Maryland. That was us in the parade. And we were at the front. And it was incredibly awesome. That I was on Pinky. That was cool. This is Bon Jovi and his bike that's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's John Bon Jovi. And there's JB test riding it. I do believe that his sound guy is one of his friends, but they work on it there. And then there's another. See, now, him and Hank Williams Jr. had something going on there. They must have been related in some regard. There he is having fun. He's always fun. He's the best bee. He's just bright and bold and beautiful. He just is an awesome human being. There he is with. Now, I'm not sure who is on the other side with the long beard. He's in the bolo hat. And then there is one of my all-time favorite people in the world and heroes in the motorcycle community, Mr. Ron Finch. We'd be lucky enough to one day get him on the show. I'll have to reach out to him and Miss Ruth and see if we can make that possible. See? Bright, beautiful, shiny. He's just so incredible. Absolutely love him to death. Okay, so here we go. We get to bring him in. Are you ready? I made you wait long enough.
We got that link going.
We got, look at that handsome face. Hi there.
Hello, Athena. How are you?
Good. I'm so sorry about all the link issues that we had to get you here.
I'm just so proud of you. You got all this internet technology stuff, and I'm a dumb old redneck trying to figure it out.
I wouldn't go as far as we've What is that saying? Fake it until you make it. That's it. So we're doing it as it goes, So how have you been?
Hey, turn your
Life has been grand. We've been busy. You know, I'm kind of a rambling man. I found my way up to a new dealership recently.
Yeah.
Their sixth dealership, a company that's been around since 1954. And so they convinced me to come give them a hand.
Very cool. Can you turn your camera just a little? We only get the side of your face. I see the horns behind you, but can you there you go. Oh, there you go. I see. Now I really see you. Hey, look at that. Oh, you get the whole beard and everything.
Is that better? Yeah, I got me a long beard. I'm the OG now. So
I know. It goes like I was saying, we have more of a past than we do a future. So we got to share our past for the kids of the future. That's what it is. We have a bunch of people. Bert Mooney says you're awesome. Joe Buckner, they're all tuning in, waiting to see you. So that's incredible.
I got a bunch of good pals out there, Athena, and it's really because folks like you really got me, some steam, and I thank you immensely for all that.
Oh, we love you. You are incredible. Are you kidding me? I'm so excited because you are one of the most genuine, kind, and incredible human beings I've ever met. Not that I'd ever want to piss you off because the nice guys are always the ones you got to worry about. You know how that is. But I appreciate you more than you know because you literally do so much for the motorcycle community and you make people's dreams come true. So what dealership are you at now so people can come and find you?
Lancaster Harley-Davidson, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a facility that's been around since 1951, and then the Hannums purchased it a year and a half ago. So that's their sixth dealership. And I've worked for the Hannums off and off about 5 times. Tommy Hannum has a standing job offer for me. So
I love it. That's awesome. How's Miss Sandy doing?
Miss Sandy's doing fine. She's at the beach getting a little R&R. Plus, she had to work on the ice maker down there. It had a big chunk of ice on it. So,
okay, that's good. Well, you got to have a little rest and relaxation. That's
yep. That's her getaway. She lets me ride motorcycles. She lets go put her toes in the sand and read a book.
That's why I'm in Florida. I can do both. That's an important thing. That is definitely. Throw a little bit of horse shit in there on Sundays. I get shoveling. Good to go. Very much so.
Yep.
So what have you been up to?
Just trying to get acclimated to a new dealership, some new stuff, the changes and some of the obstacles, with the new Harley-Davidson world and allocations. This goes on a bunch of stuff. So it's been fun. I've been working on a backyard project for several years, and I'm getting close to getting it done.
Nice. Hi, Miss Sandy. I see you. She commented. She says, Miss Sandy, wifey here. She's so good. She's watching you. You're her rock star. That is too cool. That's cool. So, Lancaster Harley-Davidson, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Are you selling or?
Yep, that's what I do. I sell Harley-Davidson motorcycles. They all got the same product. And, by doing this, I'm planning for my future. I'm trying to network with the Amish now. That might have to be part of my retirement fund.
I love you. I so love you.
Ride the Amish around.
Hey,
I get to retire in February 2025. I'm still going to have to work till noon the day of my funeral, but.
You're so bad. That's bad. Don't say that.
It's just part of life. We all got to do something.
I know. You're gonna be riding around. I could see she's gonna be driving you around in the sidecar. That's how that's gonna be. She's gonna be like, "Get in, honey. You're cranky. I need to take you for a ride, for sure." And yeah, that's pretty funny. I love it. So you've been in and out of dealerships. Oh, did we lose him? Oh,
I lost him.
You lost him. Oh no. I'm sweating like a banshee, and you lost him. That's not cool. All right, hopefully it's fine back in. I need a paper towel. I don't know why they call it menopause either, because I don't want to break from my man. I do not want to pause from my man in any regard. He's going to turn the fan on for me. I have one of those hand fans. We call it the menopause fan. I call it the menopause fan. I don't care. I'm in my 50s. Nobody ever told me I was going to sweat from the waist up, from the inside out. If somebody would have warned me about that, man, I would have seen if I could have been the one to find a way to make that shit stop in my 20s. So my 50s, I didn't have to. Sean Darby commenting, I love you, Sean Darby. No, you can never really lose the big B. He is the big B. He's the best B too. I love him. Sean, you need to hit me up because I want you on my guest list. You are one of my faves. So everybody knows we're doing our best to get JB back in here. Somehow my sketchy little streaming platform is giving me grief. But again, I'm not a quitter. I'm just going to make it better and better. We're just going to keep going and keep getting it better. So, yeah, this man makes people's dreams come true. Sean Darby knows it. A lot of people who are watching know it. He actually really will put you on two wheels and get you going. And he's passionate about motorcycles. He has been in the motorcycle community for a really long time. And I'm excited to be able to tell you all about it and get him to tell you all about it if we can get our damn shit. There he is. He's back. I can hear you. Okay, let's see if we get you in the screen. Yay. Hey, everything is a challenge, right? It doesn't matter. You got to go with the flow.
Hey,
Okay.
now you
Hey.
got me.
Now I got you. I got you back. How exciting. Sean Darby said you can never really lose the big B. That's right. We love Sean Darby. He is awesome.
Sean Darby and his wife have been doing very well. We need to figure out how to get some of this stuff back in the world and some of the things that we used to do. The motorcycle community has really changed. And I really would try to like to figure out something to do with Godsmack's charity and do some kind of motorcycle ride if you guys could figure something out.
All right. Well, I'm going to get with Sean. I got to get him on the show. I definitely want him on the show. He's one of my favorites. And I was telling people anytime, a lot of people say, oh my God, I'm not famous. I'm not this. But if you're famous to me, that's all that matters because I know all the special people and I want to share them with the world. Like yourself, like Sean, like so many people we've had before and so many people we have coming up. It makes my heart happy. But we can also help some of these younger kids with some history on who we are and what we do in the world. Right. And that's the fun of it. You know what I mean? Is just I think I was at Daytona. It might have been Sturgis. One of the girls was talking to me. She's like, oh, can I get your IG? And I'm like, what? And she's like, oh, your Instagram. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, here. And I handed her my business card. She's like, you're OG badass. She's like, you got a business card. I'm like, yeah. Like, you guys don't do it that way anymore. No, they just
looks like it put your IG ain't on it.
Right. Yeah. No, it was. It says at Vagabond Chopper. I do. I just put at. So it works for Facebook and yeah, it works for all of it. But it was too funny the way she said that because it seems like if there's not a QR code that they can scan, they don't know what to do with it. So you got to set a little bit of history for them, you know, and that's incredible. But you've been
and some of us OGs don't know how to use that other stuff.
Right. Well, we're learning. We're faking it till we make it.
That's
baby.
right.
I got you right here, so I know I'm doing something right.
We're live and almost nationwide, ain't we?
Yeah, yeah, we're global actually. I got
global.
A few that watch. Oh yeah, I have a couple that watch in Austria. I have a few in Denmark. Yeah, it's pretty neat. And then a lot of people who can't stay up till 10 o'clock on a Monday night, which is cool. They've all figured out that you can go to YouTube and you can watch it, or you can go to the Facebook and you can watch any episode you want. They're all there. So that's cool. It took me a minute to figure that out myself. So I'm good with it. That is so cool. So feel free to elaborate on any of the questions that I ask you. Okay. And anything you want to plug, which I know me and Sean are going to have to start getting with some people and Godsmack and, working out a charity ride for their charity. Well, I'll got that right on my list. So are you ready for some questions?
Bring it on.
Okay, we're going to do just for fun to start.
Well,
dogs or cats?
Life is just for fun.
I know with you it is. I know that. So dogs or cats?
Dog. Willie, he's over there sleeping in front of the TV.
How old's Willie?
Willie's about 7 years old now.
Nice.
And he tolerates me, but he loves Sandy to no end.
That's how that works.
Yep.
Apples or oranges?
Apples. Fuji.
Fuji?
Fuji's are my favorite.
Fuji apples.
They're
Just
always crisp and they're always sweet and there's always juice running down my chin.
Oh, okay. Have you had a Honey Crisp?
I've tried them and they're good. I will give them, right up there with the Fuji. But I've just been kind of Fuji'd.
You just been Fuji. Now, is it stock Fuji or do you add peanut butter or chocolate?
Oh, no, just Fuji.
Just stock. Okay.
Fuji. Gnawing and gnashing my teeth on the bone, on the core,
I love you. Okay, hotel or camping?
Well, this part of my life, I prefer hotels. It's a little difficult to get up off the ground anymore.
I love it.
So I've kind of had to resort to them hotels.
All right. I understand because we all slept in a lot of tents and under a lot of picnic tables in our early years. That's for sure.
I can remember one time being outside of Dallas in a rest area, and I swear a swarm of mosquitoes, they looked like B-52s. 8 of them got me and was taking me across the land. It was incredible.
It's the same way at the end, the southern end of the southernmost 7-mile bridge in Key West. They
Yep.
eat right through the leather. Those bastards got they don't care at all. Okay, so slow, fast, or faster?
All the above.
All of the above.
Well, I mean, everything. Sometimes you got to be slow. Sometimes you got to be fast, and sometimes you got to be faster.
Okay.
So, in my eyes, it could be a little of all.
I love it.
But don't we all like
Sunshine-
running in the left lane about 85 mile an hour and we're going cross country?
Yes.
I do.
Yes. 85 is slow nowadays.
Yeah, but I've got to the point now that I still kind of care about my driver's license and them points. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's something. And
that's
remember
another funny thing, ain't it? We get a conscience sometimes.
Yeah, as we get older, we have a little bit of what we like to save because we've spent so much money in the past trying to get it back.
Yep.
That is true.
Yep.
Sunshine or moonshine?
That's another one of them things. You can't beat sunshine, but them cold nights, a little moonshine keeps you warm.
Okay, I'll go with that. What is your absolute favorite song?
Well, you read the words on the back of that shirt.
It is, right? I knew
Yeah.
it. You're a huge Waylon fan?
I got a little history with that guy. There's another part of my life that was pretty fun. I got to work for a gentleman named Henson Cargill in Oklahoma City. I was a floor walker, security guard, and through the course of that, I got very lucky and got to meet quite a few of those guys. And I spent about 7 months as a guy carrying equipment back and forth, with a guy named Waylon Jennings. An incident happened in front of the stage, and his 2 bodyguards at the time, Mountain and Grizzly, liked the way I carried myself as a 21-year-old motorcycle cowboy. And next thing I know, I was riding a bus or in a truck with them guys for about 7 months.
How cool. So you were an actual roadie for Waylon Jennings.
He wouldn't know who I was from Adam. I was just another one in the party at that time. It really his 2 bodyguards that got me. And, so it was a fun time.
Yeah, no doubt. That is absolutely, and that is, I love that song. It's just, but all of his music, I mean, it was iconic. I was bummed we just missed Willie. I wasn't paying attention. I usually watch the Hard Rock, like to see what's coming up. And we had such a crazy summer, and I missed it 3 days after my birthday. Willie Nelson was playing, and he's up there. So
He sure is.
yeah. So that was one of my best concerts. So I saw him that was my first concert.
Well, I got a funny story with him on the side of the road in Ardmore, Oklahoma on I-35 one year, and it broke down Yellow Rose.
His bus?
Yes.
Oh, you got to tell us. Go ahead.
I was working for a Cadillac dealer at the time and working at night for Henson Cargill at Henson's. I was doing a dealer trade at a dealer at Seward Cadillac in Dallas, Texas, and Willie's bus was broke down. So I pulled over. Here I am in a seersucker suit, Argyle socks. I got the sunroof open of this Cadillac Seville, and I had one of them left-handed cigarettes going,
Uh-huh.
So I walk up and knock on the bus. Pookie was his manager at the time, and as I said a few words, no, I wasn't some weird, fan. I kind of had a little in on him. Pookie at least talked to me. Said no, they had a tow truck coming. So I asked if Willie wanted to smoke a joint. Well, of course, I got a trip on the bus, and so there's my story with Willie. And I'll never smoke weed with Willie again, as Toby says.
He can outsmoke Snoop Dogg. That's the shit right there.
Yeah. So it's been a colorful life.
That's awesome. And I just want to see Snoop Dogg, Willie Nelson, and Martha Stewart all getting stoned together.
I would like to watch that.
Yeah, it would be cool, right?
I'd like to be in the left-hand pass-around lane.
Yeah. And you know who else? Warren Buffett. I bet you he's a stoner. He has to be. He's way too cool to not be.
That's right.
For as wealthy as he is. Okay, so what's your favorite road food?
My favorite who?
Road food? Like when you're on the road, what's your favorite food?
I guess I'm not understanding that.
Like road food, like you
Oh,
like
road
to
food.
road food.
Now I got it. It's an easy word. I just didn't hear it. There is nothing, and I mean nothing better than gas station hot dogs.
Yeah. Don's cheering back there. He's like, yes.
I mean, how can you go wrong? 3 for $1, $2, a roadside hot dog, man. That's what keeps me going. An occasional bottle of Gatorade,
Okay. What do you put on the hot dog?
mustard and ketchup.
Mustard and ketchup. That's good. I'm mustard and onion kind of girl, but Don used to use ketchup only. Now he gets a little mustard sometimes.
Yeah, but I ain't on onions. Onions don't get across here. I'm out on onions.
My grandson and Don were in the gas station. I was getting a soda pop, and he says, "Oh, Grandpa, I want a hot dog." And Don's like, "Okay, we'll get you a hot dog." And we're at racetrack, and they were good and whatever. And he says, "What do you want on it?" And he's joking around. He's like, "Oh, we got ketchup, mustard, mayo. We got grape jelly." And there was a package of grape jelly. That kid sat down, put grape jelly on that hot dog. And now every time he comes, he wants to go to racetrack and get a grape jelly hot dog. I was just like, oh, God. None of us wanted to try it. But he likes garlic knots with barbecue sauce. I'm like, okay.
I bet that's pretty good.
It was pretty good. I had some yesterday. He made me try it. I was like, okay. And the shit we do for the kids, we wouldn't do for anybody else. Yeah.
That's right.
It was one of those. Okay, so if you were a cocktail, what would you be?
Jack and Coke.
Jack and Coke.
I've resorted to water now, trying to have a little bit so that the hangovers aren't so bad.
I see. Don's usually Jack on the rocks or Jack with a splash of water. That's his thing. Joe Buckner says, don't give you any onions.
That's
Absolutely
right.
Not. He knows. That's funny. That's so cool. I love that everybody's here and they're all commenting. I can only see some of the comments because I'm still working on this whole program I got. I'm going to get some sponsors and get to a better streaming platform. But we've been doing it for fun, so we haven't been worried about that so much until it gets frustrating, like, when the guest can't get the link so we're working on it. We're working on it. All right. So you ready for some serious questions?
Okay.
All right. How long have you been riding?
Man, 40 some years, 50 years.
How'd you get into motorcycles?
Well, most of us, that movie, Easy Rider or Electric Glide in Blue, pegged some stuff. Hearing the guys come by in front of the house on their Harleys, I'd run to the end of the driveway. And then, my first motorcycle came via a gentleman named Moose / my neighbor. And I had to hide it from my dad. It was a 58 Triumph Chopper.
Oh.
My dad hated motorcycles. My mom accepted it. And I think I've owned 35 motorcycles now in my life.
35.
I've only had like 9 cars.
I love it. That's awesome. So, because you've been working for Harley Davidson and selling motorcycles for a really long time, correct?
20 years now. 21 years starting.
So how did you get into making people's dreams come true? Because that's really what you do. And you post pictures. I swear anybody that knows you knows that you are extremely passionate about motorcycles, specifically to Harley Davidson.
Harley Davidson motorcycles specifically. I love the motorcycle sport altogether, but it's, if you cut me, I bleed orange and black blood.
Right.
Just the name Harley Davidson, the history of it, that's what keeps me fueled. I stop and think, and I look at old motorcycles and I think about where they started. We should all have motorcycles with bell cranks on them, big, thick leather belts. Okay. Mm-hmm. But now we have motorcycles with, heated hand grips and heated seats and 12.3-inch screens with navigation on them. And people complain about noises and why this motorcycle does this. They never knew what it was like to ride a shovelhead, a panhead. No, they don't like it. And then we had these old, these JDs and everything before that. Mm-hmm. They made noise. We had to wear long gloves, because we had to free up valves and stuff. They were total oil loss systems.
Yes.
But the name of where we are today and where it's at, let alone that Willie G is still around, it's a corporate thing. It had to become that. But it's what keeps me going every morning is that name, Harley Davidson.
Have you ever met Willie G?
My first experience at a 100th anniversary in Orlando. I started working at Baltimore Harley Davidson. It was like my third or fourth day. The sales manager comes to me and says, "How would you like to go to Orlando for the 100th anniversary?" Well, the one gentleman that couldn't go, I ended up getting his hotel room and a ticket. And on the floor, I got my picture taken with Willie G. And something I still use today in a lot of things, the words that he said that day was, "Thanks for the opportunity." 100 years later, that opportunity and everybody that allows me to sell them that dream, that is what I'm thankful for, the opportunity to be able to share that.
I love it. So Mama Ditch is here. Patricia Thurston. I call her Mama Ditch. I love Patty Ditch. She said that, of course, my YouTube isn't working so good tonight, but she says tonight's show is definitely stirring some memories. Says living on Tulsa times. That's when you said that. And there she goes. And then she says it's the old stripped down real motorcycle. No heated seat or grips. No windshield even. And then hashtag ditch please, because that's her hashtag. I love her. She's incredible. If you haven't met her yet, I got to make sure that happens. You and Miss Sandy will love her. She's part of my family.
Please.
She's part of my heart. And Bert Mooney says, he says you're honest and upfront. That's to say the least about you. You're very honest and upfront. I'd have to say.
Well, I mean, that's the way it should be. The only thing I got in this world is my word.
That's it. And that's where we come from. That matters.
That's all I got.
That's again, I guess now in the day and age of like the younger generation, we want to make sure we spread that. But I know we're going to get into some questions and you're going to go ahead and give me some stories, but that's what I want them to see. I want them to know the shit that we went through to get where we are today so that they have the choice to have heated grips, heated seats, 26-inch wheels, whatever the hell they want. And can you push all those buttons on all those things? I just rode the CVO, the 2023 CVO Road Glide. Oh my, that was just, it was mesmerizingly brain-stakingly.
It'll take you a while to figure out what all them buttons do.
I had to call Don and I'm like, babe. And he's like, oh, this does this does that. I loved it. It was incredibly a learning lesson, but yeah, far cry from a knucklehead, panhead, shovelhead, any of that stuff.
I think we had a 12-inch screen, black and white, in our room.
Yeah, 12-inch screen was a black and white TV you got in your bedroom if you were lucky. That's because somebody converted to a larger one and you got it, right?
But I'm very impressed on the new Street Glide, the CVO Street Glide with the doobie tray.
Oh, I haven't ridden that one yet.
Next time you get to one, push the button under the screen and watch the tray come out.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. That is, any law enforcement listening, do not pay attention to that. We don't want you to know where our stash is. That's too funny. Heisenberg 0327 says, gotta watch from the beginning. That's cool. Well, thank you for watching. We appreciate you. All right, so we're gonna get on to the next question. What are your absolute favorite rides? What's your favorite motorcycle to ride, and what's your favorite route?
I have converted to a Road Glide of late. In my older years, the Road Glide is my motorcycle of choice. I love everything about it. In the 80s, when they introduced the Tour Glide, it was the ugliest thing we ever built. There was more recalls on that motorcycle than any model out there. But they have really, really refined to what the Road Glide is today. And I'm very excited that, this new fairing and the new stuff that's coming, I feel that we're going to see it in the working man's models next year. But I think it's time. It's been a long time since they redesigned the fairing, the saddlebags, some other stuff. We need to upgrade it. And the silhouette that always gets me, and I always will have that, I'm a Springer guy. I love Springers, drag bars, ape hangers. That 21-inch wheel on a Springer to me was what it was. Fishtail pipes, So those are my two.
I know somebody else that's a Springer only fan over here.
I mean, that's what it was in my eyes, and that's what it's got the look.
Yeah, I was talking about in the beginning. Well, before we had all these aftermarket companies, you had Gary Bang, Pat Kennedy, Paco. That was the stretch of what you got, or you cut it up and made it yourself. That's why it was a chopper.
That's what a chopper is.
Right. They say to me, "Oh, is that a chopper or a bobber?" And I'm like, "It's a chopper, but it looks like a bobber, but it's a chopper." What do you mean by that? We chop the shit out of everything. My FLH is a chopper. It's a 78 FLH, but it's a chopper. It's got 4 generations of parts, so it's a chopper. So you know all about that chopper stuff. I know you do.
And when you ask about the ride, I think one of my greatest rides is Interstate 40 going in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That ride at nighttime as you're coming into the town and you're seeing the lights, that's one of the most impressive things you'll ever see. It takes your breath away. You know, in the winter months, as you're riding through New Mexico, they burn pinyon pine and the smell of that off in the mountains. It's just, it gives you that stuff. And I think riding from Klein's Corner, New Mexico to Santa Fe, that road, in my eyes, is the most beautiful road there is.
Okay. Well, everybody should check that one out.
Yeah.
Now, at night, a lot of coyote eyes.
Well, that's
Hyenas, right? There are hyenas out there. It's not even coyotes, it's hyenas. That's funny. That is too good. And Albuquerque is gorgeous. We have a friend, Chopper Nick, lives out there. On the Chicks on 66 ride, we went through there, Taos and all that stuff. It was gorgeous. It definitely was. All the different rock figures.
Yeah. And the high desert and the other stuff. Once you get around and you learn that stuff about there, I mean, it's just, you know, there's places around here everywhere you look's a postcard. You can't ride for looking, you can't look for riding. My backyard up here, the Basin Run Road, is one of the coolest roads I've ever been on. And when I would come back east after being out west, I always had to make sure I went down that road. And I looked down at it and listened to the creek run behind my house now.
Nice. Postcards. I love postcards. The best way, especially when they're real like that.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your favorite rally or your favorite event?
Man, Sturgis, you can't go wrong. It's another one of those things where everybody looks at postcard. You can't look for riding. It's so spread out, the history of it. But in the same breath, I enjoyed a small rally like the Four Corners rally in Colorado because it is like the old days again. You know, so small, you know, some of the campgrounds and everything that you get to do. It's the old days. Apple Mountain here in Maryland, Western Maryland, you know, we have East Coast Sturgis. Apple Mountain is a fun time, and it's again another party in a field. You know,
What time of year is that? Same
August.
time
It's typically around the same time as Sturgis out west. But Kenny Apple and his place here on Apple Mountain, it's old fashioned.
That's cool. Have you been to the Smokeout ever?
Yeah. I was at the Smokeout. I went with some guys down there. Of course, I rode a road glide, a chopper show.
We didn't see a lot of those, but it's back, so you have to come sometime.
Well, I'm glad it's back. Johnny Rinaldi down in Florida. We went with him, Sandy Shipley, Brian John the Cop, Brian Kondratic, and them guys. We had a hell of a time down there.
That's awesome. That is cool. Maybe we'll meet there sometime. It's like halfway in between.
I don't got no problem with that.
That's good. September. It's in September now. So
Cool.
I think it's like the second week right after Labor Day. So we'll have to make a plan for that after we get the Godsmack charity ride going. We're working on that for sure. We're gonna make that happen. I know Sean's watching, so he's probably already Googling a way to figure that out because he's.
Well, we got to get Naomi on board first.
Okay.
Okay, Sean's always going to do that, but we got to get Naomi on first.
Yeah, so she's happy with it. She's not gonna. She's gonna kick my ass. She's gonna be like, have your ass for that. Okay, so here's a good question for you. What's the most fun you've ever had on a motorcycle?
Man. Sandy, don't listen to all this.
Okay.
There was a time when I worked in them places, them girls forgot to get dressed at when they danced. And there was always a lot of fun parties, and of course our motorcycles became the backdrop on a lot of those things. I'm just glad there wasn't a lot of, cameras back in those days, and
Right.
when there's not a whole lot of records.
Yeah.
And another fun thing that comes to my mind, little Jim, my buddy in Oklahoma, he had a Honda chopper that he said it was time to sell. So he had me early one morning take it to a swap meet at the fairgrounds. And I'm blasting down I-35 trying to get to the fairgrounds. And here comes the black and white Oklahoma Highway Patrol. And it was a lady cop. Well, she rolls up next to me and she gives me the 5-5 sign. Okay, because I was running a little fast that day.
Oh.
Then I had to lay on the ground inside that place because I had a terrible hangover because little Jim didn't want to do it. And I had a sign that said, "Wake me up if you want to buy this thing." So those are some kind of fun things. My ride to Sturgis, where every 200 miles when I stopped for gas, I pulled a ring out of my vest and looked at it and was nervous as hell because I figured I was going to ask Sandy to marry me in Sturgis. And
Oh,
so that's
how
probably got the
cool.
best memory. Riding the
That's
1880 steam train.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's cool. Miss Sandy, you're so lucky. See, there's some mush in there too. I love it. She's fantastic. You guys are a fantastic couple. You fit like two pieces of the puzzle. You know what I mean? That's for sure.
She blows me away. She tolerates me, and I can't, I believe every morning I wake up, she's still there. When I go to bed, she's still there. So I thank her immensely.
That is so incredibly awesome. Okay, so what's your craziest roadside breakdown memory?
When I was talking about that Honda chopper, after the event, we didn't sell it. So I had to ride it back to Spencer, Oklahoma. As I pulled out of the fairgrounds, I got back on the Interstate 40 to I-35. The throttle cable broke. So I pull over on the side of the road, try to figure out what to do. And the only thing I could figure out what to do was get back on the bike, wrap it around my leg, and use my leg to move my right leg out to pull the throttle and figure out how to get it home 18 miles.
Shit.
So I wrapped it around my leg, held it on there, and it was quite an interesting ride. Try to figure out how to clutch and use your leg to be a throttle instead of your hand. And I got a funny story. When we were in Milwaukee at the 105th, and you ladies built that bike for the Race Foundation there, the house of Harley, and
yes,
that morning that you guys said goodbye to me and got up there and said goodbye, and I was late to meet Mike Nobile and that bunch. So Mike Nobile, the general manager of Chesapeake Harley Davidson at the time, Gail and Carl. Gail was our business office manager upstairs, and myself. Well, we was late, and time we hooked up and said goodbye to Brian Matthews and his wife. As you're going south out of Milwaukee and you're coming into that big ass toll gate.
Oh yeah.
In Chicago, it's large, and there was all these people leaving Milwaukee, all these motorcycles. Well, we kind of got separated, the three of us. I followed Mike through a closed toll booth.
Oh shit.
He broke it. We busted through it. We lost the other two people, and all the way along, we rode straight through 1,000 miles to get back to Maryland, but we never caught up with Gail and Carl. We pulled over on the side of the road to see how much damage Mike did to his fairing, and he did was just some paint scuff. Didn't break nothing else, and off we went. But somewheres in Ohio, I remember pulling over and I taking pictures over my shoulder of Michael getting a speeding ticket in Ohio.
I love it.
So that's kind of the fun little things that I remember.
I love good trips like that. That's the best part about, and you've been riding just as long as I have, and not for anything. It wasn't always fashionable like it is now, where
Nope.
It was like Easy Riders. Like they would literally want to pull you over, harass you, lock you up, spit at you, whatever it was. Then sometimes you talk to the kids or people and they're just like, that you watch too much television. It's like, yeah, no, I lived it. I remember living it. So
I can remember literally watching people reach over there and push the door locks on their cars at red lights.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like, what?
That's because, it was the stereotype. That's why when every judge, doctor, and lawyer started riding Harley Davidsons in the late 80s, that was super cool because it wasn't so hectic on us.
Right. Well, let's talk about that since you opened that bag of worms.
Yeah.
Before the 60s and the 70s and the 50s, as all this stuff was coming down, in the early years of Harley Davidson, when we look at old magazines, and if we really looked at the movie Harley and the Davidsons, people in tweed suits, it was business. Not everybody could afford a Harley Davidson back then. You could buy a Model T, but people, when they had a sidecar rig, I can get something cheaper. So there was this time. And then the stuff, the wars and guys coming back looking for the adrenaline rushes, and the other thing that became what drawed us in our era was that Easy Rider stuff and the things that we saw on the TV, Hell's Angel 69 and, all those
Yeah.
crazy movies.
Yeah. And that's it too. It's really, I guess we were talking about that the other day about the difference between a motorcycle enthusiast and a biker. And now, of course, everybody has come into the fray and it's acceptable to be both. And some are both and some are on one end or the other. But that history is what's important, getting to know that.
Yes.
What Mama did. She lived it. She understands that too. And there's a lot of people out there that do. And the younger kids, I hope it never goes back to the way that it was when we started, because
I don't think we're going to see that, the way our world has changed. But again, a lot of those people who got into our sport and started doing that, they've got the age on them now. The things have changed. They want motorhomes. They want to go do some other stuff. So that segment's kind of gone. The price points on our motorcycles have changed quite a bit. But at the same time, those people were standing in lines paying for you to build them custom motorcycles with great big price tags.
Yeah.
Yes, but in 08 and 03 to 08, it really started changing. And really, the chopper build off stuff, all those things have gone away. Yeah. Now we have a whole nother thing with street rod, cars and stuff now.
It's easier too for the do-it-yourselfers because they got 4 wheels.
Yes.
They don't have to be so safe, because on 2 wheels, you have to be safe about building it. 4 wheels, you can leave a few pieces out and it won't really matter until it really matters. But,
Correct. So that's why we see in my eyes, why we see such a big change in stuff. Those people are leaving, they're dying, they're getting old. And we don't really have anything else that our new generation is, trying to spark up to and get warmed up to. They don't fully understand our history.
Right. And then you see, I see a lot of these kids, I just had a kid come in, he bought a shovel head. And he really didn't know what it was, except for it was cool and it was old, which is cool. Kudos to him. He's like, he says, you need to be on Instagram because there's nobody around here that knows what you know about the old bikes. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on that. It's easier for me to work on the shovel head than it is to work on the computer to get to that point, but I'm working on it. But in the same regard, like some of these shows like Born Free in California and Texas, you'd be surprised. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands of choppers that these kids are building. And it's good to see it come back. It really is. Like there's a small amount of them and they're growing, it just keeps growing. Like back in the day, you told Patty and Patty told her sister and she told 4 girls and she told 4. It's kind of like that now because I don't know. What is what do they call them, babe? The hipsters. That's the term. I don't necessarily go with that. I don't categorize anybody because again, I've been stereotyped. I sure as hell don't want somebody to.
And that hipster's been around forever.
Yeah, since James Dean, wasn't he a hipster?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like a hipster, I guess. So, okay, so if you could go back and tell your 25-year-old self something, what would that be?
Do a little bit more stuff with control and think about the consequences.
Oh,
that's what I would say right now.
Yeah. Okay. I would go with that. We don't think about that, but none of us thought we were going to live past 40.
I didn't think I was going to make it to 30.
No, see, that's a guy thing. I think that's a guy.
I went to 40.
Don, you went to 40? You thought 40? Yeah. I said if I made it to 40, I'd be lucky. I wasn't having kids though either. I was packed and ready to go on a road trip with my shovel head freshly built. Went to give my 2-week notice at work and got sick as a dog. And bam, when you know, that was the first one. And I wouldn't change it for the world, but I did make that trip years later. But it was after 2 kids. So.
And they don't know what it's like to have a little tool pouch with clothespins in it and some safety wire and another set of spark plugs and some cork O-rings for your push rod tubes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still carry all that shit around. Well, not the
bulbs,
yeah,
so
and the 1157 bulbs. Like,
Yes.
there's no changing a light bulb anymore. Like, that's so crazy. It's like, okay, your light's out. Go to the dealership, You know, that's pretty much what it is.
I still have a set of Yellow Jacket spark plugs in my toolbox in the garage from my panhead.
Nice.
I love it. That's awesome. That is so cool. So what do you think of the variable valve timing motor?
I mean, let's just look at where we're at. You know, from a single cylinder, 6 horsepower ladies foot to 121 cubic inch variable valve timing. It's our future. Everybody wants bigger displacement, hot rod motors. Well, now, you know, most of the cars that people drive around there are 4-cylinder, double overhead cam, variable valve timing, because you got the power when you need it. You got fuel efficiency when you're on the highway.
And
Just
it's
you guys with toolboxes
compliant.
going to have to learn a lot more again, as usual.
Right.
And gals with toolboxes.
Yeah. Well, now it's the gal with the computer because you have to carry that shit around for all that. But we do it. I was telling Don, I'm like, we're going to Biketoberfest. I'm like, you know, because we can retrieve the pin or change and get your key fob and do stuff like that. And I told him, I'm like, we need to be a locksmith, 24-hour locksmith for all the drunks who lose all their shit at Biketoberfest. I'm like, it'd be so cool. We go to an event and actually come home with money instead of going to an event and coming back with no money. There's got to be something in there.
Come on, you didn't do it for the money, did you?
No.
All right.
Hell no.
It's quite entertaining. I like watching all those drunks looking around for their keys anyways.
That's funny.
I was one of those. I mean, I don't know. I think the first time Don and I went to Daytona, we slept under a tent on Main Street with our motorcycles. I woke up hungover. He didn't. He's a professional. I'm not. But yeah, those are some of the best times, you know. There was no hotels. We didn't get that. We got to camp out at the Cabbage Patch if you were lucky, or the A-Bay campground or wherever else. So yeah, Jimbo and Candy's. That's another great place in Daytona.
And stop and think and look how the difference of the rallies have changed, you know.
Yeah.
That world is not like it was, you know. Custom builders are faded away. You know, a lot of the other aftermarket companies, they're not really doing nothing anymore.
Right. But the times have changed so much. I mean, you even have to pay. It's like $5 to park on Main Street, park on the side roads, park anywhere. I think Rossmeyer's, well, I don't think now that Teddy Morse took over, I don't know that they charge you to park, but you know, you fit in 100,000 motorcycles, $5 a day, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even have to worry about selling a motorcycle. Oh, he froze on me. I hope I don't lose him. There you are. You're back. Okay.
No, I didn't hear what Daytona's numbers were this year, but I did hear at Sturgis they sold 547 motorcycles during that event. That's crazy.
That again.
547 motorcycles they sold in Sturgis this year.
Holy shit.
At the end of the rally.
Wow.
Yes.
That is crazy. That's crazy cool, but it's crazy. Remember in the 90s when you'd order it and you'd have to wait 6 months for that model to come up.
Yes.
If you want a specific color, that was the thing. That was the thing.
Fat Boys.
Yeah, Fat Boys. Oh, when they came out, that was another thing for sure. Fat Boys, literally.
The Me Too bike of that era is now the Street Glide of this era.
Yes. Yeah, that is true. That is,
and it's kind of cool to see how the Road Glide's coming over as well.
Yeah, like you said, when it started out, they were the ugliest motorcycles that Harley ever put out. Now they're a little more refined. They're still very top heavy. That's more of a man's bike, I think. I mean, some women ride them, but I wrote a review in Cycle Source. It should be out in this issue. It is definitely for sure. Okay, so if money didn't matter and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere, where would you go and with who?
It'll be with Sandy. I have to fly her a lot. I don't think she's going to be able to take too many of them long miles anymore. But I want to do the 4 corners of the United States.
Okay. What's the farthest you've ever been?
Sturgis. Sturgis. You know, I've done a bunch of stuff in the middle of the country and the other stuff. You know, when I lived in Oklahoma, it wasn't nothing, you know, to run to Texas, Kansas, you know, some other stuff around there, Arkansas.
Nice. Well, when you're ready for that trip, let me know. Alaska was fantastic. I did the northernmost point to the southernmost point.
Right on.
It was like 8 weeks, and we took a week and a half in Sturgis. That was, you know, some tornadoes, some extra fun we don't want to talk about on camera. Thank God there were no cameras. My kids would be shocked, but it's okay. All right. So Tell us something about yourself that most people don't know.
I try to keep humbleness, and I don't try to take myself too serious. I'm just, I'm JB. That's all I'm ever going to be. I want to sell you your next motorcycle, and if you need some help, I want to help you. But I don't really have a big story or nothing.
I always say that you are a community caretaker. You really take good care of your motorcycle community. Everybody always knows they feel it when they meet you, when they talk to you, when they come and see you. Even my friends that came to see you from the Chicks on 66, you always make everybody feel so welcome. You're just you're a good person and a good person to be around. And you uplift everybody. You always have a positive word. You have something good to say. That in itself, I mean, that's the whole Chopper Chick crew loves you because you were like one of our cheerleaders at our build at the 105th. You were like, you can do it. You can do it. You girls got this. You got this.
That weekend that you guys allowed me to hang out around you and do that stuff, that's one of the most memorable experiences of my life. Hanging out and some of the friendships that I've developed at it. I've been lucky enough that Gina keeps in touch. You keep in touch. I don't really know too much about the rest of the girls, Gypsy and.
Yeah. Gypsy's always worked. She does 3 and 6 month contracts because she's a traveling nurse. She was a registered nurse for a long time. She worked at dealerships and stuff like that, but she fell back on the nursing because, again, she's another community caretaker. She really is. She's got a heart of gold. And I believe that, and I'm fortunate to be around you guys. That's my take on it. I know that when paths cross, it's a wonderful thing. I tell everybody, if they get a chance to see you, meet you, go up and introduce themselves, because it's definitely worth it. I wouldn't trade you for the world. I love having you in my world. And I hope to see you again very soon. So how about telling us your 5 good things, and we'll put it to a close.
My 5 good things. I'm grateful for what I get to do for a living. I'm grateful for the product I get to sell. I'm grateful that I get to wake up with Sandy and Willie every day. I try to make sure that I'm doing good for the rest of the people, our people, when they need some help. I've got a great family. My 2 sisters are all I've got left now. They support me real well. My little sister has had some incredible health concerns that she's beaten. She quit riding motorcycles and she makes some very great gourds.
Nice.
My older sister, I love her to death, but she is a pain in the ass.
No, that's what siblings are for.
I can't wake up tomorrow to go to work.
I love it. You make people's dreams come true. That's for sure. How does that feel? I mean, they just ride away and they smile and then they come back.
They come back and they keep coming back. In my career, I've sold over 3,500 motorcycles in my career. I have so many Facebook friends, and really pretty much of them are everybody I've sold a motorcycle to. I try to keep that connection. And it just blows me away how many people have come through my new place just to come say hi and go buy a T-shirt.
Right.
It just blows me away.
I love it. Well, you deserve it. You are the best bee. I always tell you that. I know that's my own little thing for you, but I mean, you are one of the best bees
and
ever.
I'm grateful that you think that.
Oh, I do. And so many other people do too. You can't see it all. You don't always get the feedback, but I know I'm definitely, I keep an eye on all that shit. Well, I thank you so much for being here. And
Thank you for having me.
for the technical difficulties. And anybody who's in the area of Lancaster, PA, please go to the dealership and see JB. Go say hello, shake his hand, talk to him, have a good conversation. He's tons of fun. He's a good man. And make sure that you tell him Athena said, hey. That's always a good thing. I like that.
And I want to say this as a parting little word here. A lot of what I got into this world, is the Easy Rider magazines, and we can relate to that. There's a gentleman that I never thought I'd ever meet in my life, and I didn't realize he had a Baltimore connection. To the deceased Frank Keisler, the editor-in-chief of Easy Rider magazine. As a young kid growing up and waiting for that magazine to come out every month, there's a particular picture that really gave me a drive of Frank in a self-made picture that they use for advertisements. of Frank in a stocking cap, KD glasses, and two bare-breasted women on either side of him talking about a nice pair of ear warmers. I wanted to be that guy growing up. I went out west and came back, and I never thought in my days that I've realized that he had a connection with the Bay Riders, Mike Nobile, Neil Kavanaugh, the whole list of those guys that go on, and that he would be a judge at the bike shows that you guys came to. So to Frank Keisler out there, thanks for doing what you did.
That is so awesome. And that again, like Bandit and so many of the, Miraculous Mother whoever wrote that wasn't a woman either. That's so funny. That was like heartbreaking. I was like, oh man. But yes, that's where we come from. That's our history. So, and I want to ask you that. So when you did before hotels, did you sleep in a tent most of the time? Or did you just yeah? Did you carry one on your bike?
Yep.
That's so funny.
And then we learned how to use tarps, just throw it over the motorcycle and us and, get up underneath it.
I love it. That's old school. See? Now they call us OGs. OG. OG, are you old? I tell my grandson, I'm not old, I'm older. He's like, you're not older, Mimi. He goes, you're not old yet. Like, yeah, you can't see them. They're hidden in there. I color them, but I'm in there. I'm definitely in there. I love you dearly. I can't thank you so much for being here. More than you know. Miss Sandy, I know that she's watching. I'm so glad she's watching and she commented. She's incredible, just like you. And, when it gets cold, you want to come down to Florida. You always got a place here.
Thank you very much. And if you get bored, you want to see trees, come hang out.
Trees that change of colors. Like, yeah, for us, winter, the palm fronds fall off the palm trees one at a time. Coconuts drop. That's about it. I'm so excited about that.
Well, the leaves are falling here.
Yeah. Okay, well, send me pictures of snow because that's not one I want to visit for sure. But when it starts snowing and you're tired of being cold, you just come down.
I will.
You'll like it. You'll like it because it'll be in the 60s and the low 70s where I'm freezing. You'll be making fun of me. So I love you dearly. Thank you so much.
Love you a bunch. Donnie, thanks for the help.
Hey, rock and roll that.
All right.
Good night.
All right. How awesome is that? I'm just so lucky. I can't even tell you. If you see JB out in the world, you make sure that you go and you shake his hand. You say hello. You tell him I said hello. You saw him here. Mark Shannon, thank you for saying it's a nice way to spend a Monday night. We appreciate you. And again, sorry for all the technical difficulties for everyone, for JB being patient and tried and true. He don't give up. He's not a quitter either. So we got it done. I'm going to work on that. I promise. Our streaming service. We're going to get a sponsor or two, and we're going to have it. I know Don keeps telling me to look at the camera. So the reason that I look over here and look over there is because my prompter's over here. My chair is really short. My camera's right here. I need a tripod and a director's chair, and I think I will have it fixed. So I'm working on that as well. Okay, everybody. My afterthought is the same as last week. Make a difference, even to the smallest degree. Donate your time. Donate your money. Boys and Girls Club, St. Jude, any of your local charities, food banks, anything. Holidays are coming up. There's a lot of families out there that could use a little extra help. So your local food bank, find an angel tree for Christmas, the Marines, the toy drives, whatever you can do. It not only helps others, but it also helps you. It makes you feel good inside, and that's the important part. Remember to smile big and share your sunshine, even on the rainy days. Be kind to yourself and others because it matters. It truly does. Okay, so please follow, share. Don's going to put all those addresses up there on the thingy. on the screen thingy. I laugh so much tonight. I can't even tell you. I'm just like, I'm kind of like a little twisted, but whatever. Okay. So share your events, feedback, any of your community organizations. I love to put them on here. We'll do our little segments, 5 good things. We mix them up here. All right. So you can see AthenaAfterDark.com, at Athena After Dark on YouTube, at Athena After Dark Productions on Facebook and Instagram. And thanks to our sponsors, Techno Research, to JB Bratcher for being here tonight. Tune in next week for another great guest. It's on the calendar. I told you earlier in the show, she's going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for that. All right. See the upcoming guests, like I said, on the website calendar. Love to you all. Thank you for watching. See you next Monday. Chopper on and have a great week. Mwah.